Okay, the purpose of this video is to show you how to add a point group to a surface and create that surface. So I have some point groups set up all over here already. I know that I have some control points in here that I want to exclude. So I'm going to create a new group real quick that excludes those point groups. I'm going to call these all points without control. So I'm going to include all points, but then I'm going to actually exclude points that have a raw description that match my control point descriptions, which are BRE and &T. And just in case that they're all in caps for whatever reason, I'm going to also include BRE in caps, N, ampersand, and T. I'm going to hit apply and OK. So now I have a point group called all points without control. So I'm going to include that into my new surface. So I'm going to right click on my surface and say create surface. It's going to give me a surface name, and it's going to be 1, 2, that sort of thing. So that's fine for right now. Typically speaking, I would name this surface something more descriptive so I understood what it was. But for right now, that's fine. So I'm going to hit surface 1, hit OK. So I'm going to open the surface on the left here. Now you can see I have one called surface 1. I'm going to expand that and expand the definition. So under the definition, I have a point group option. So I'm going to right click and say add. And so this is where I'm going to add that newly created point group here. And apply and OK. So now a point group has been added, and instantly I have a surface created with the contours. Now, when I created that new point group style, it changed the labels to add the point labels. I'm going to go turn those off again by right clicking on the properties of the point group and changing the label style to none and hitting apply. OK. So I also look at these points and I think, you know what, I think I have a little too much, it's a little too busy here, so I'm going to remove those points as well. The problem is I have a point over here that it's attaching to. This point, for whatever reason, doesn't have the right code because it's extending way out beyond any data set. So I'm going to select that point that it's including, right click and say edit that point. And what happened was there's a raw description here called 38, and this really should be BRE and ampersand T. So I'm going to hit enter and click OK. And now I'm going to update my point group on the left over here. And I'm going to also update my surface or rebuild it. If you set the rebuild to automatic, it'll automatically rebuild anytime there's a change. But I'm just going to do it manually for right now. And now you'll notice that that surface has backed away from that point, which is really what I wanted. So I've created a surface. The last thing I'm going to do is turn the point group properties, make the marker none, and hit apply and click OK. Now I can see my control points going around the outside. All my points that created my surface are inside, and they're turned off so that they're not cluttering the drawing, and I can see my contours. So the last thing I want to do is I'm going to change actually this particular contour set. I'm going to modify it so that it's actually 1 and 5 because my instructor asked me to do that. So I'm going to right click, select the surface, and then right click and say surface properties. And under the information tab, instead of the surface style of 1 and 10 or 2 and 10, excuse me, I'm going to use 1 and 5 background. Hit apply and hit OK. And you can see that my contouring is much denser now. So that concludes creating a surface from a point group.